Hello, I'm Dr. Barabra Swinney, your life and holistic leadership expert, founder and CEO of the Deeper Leader Institute for Personal and Professional Development, where true leadership starts with self-leadership. I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to the Comeback Champion Summit. I'm super excited to be here and would also like to thank the host for providing this opportunity, this time for me to share with you about the I in healing and leading, how to overcome adversity and lead in your profession. Yes, the I in healing and leading starts with you. Now, I like to introduce myself, and I know I just did. But I like to practice it again because I did not always know who I was. So saying my name reminds me of just who I am. So I'm going to practice again. My name is Dr. Barabra Swinney, and I am Iyanla Van Zant. I am Michelle Obama. I am Maya Angelou. I am Barack. I am Nelson Mandela. I am Les Brown. I am Keisha, Shonda, Yolanda, and Henry. I am you. You see, when I started this journey of healing and leading, I kept running into myself. I kept bumping into Barbara, but I didn't recognize her because she looked like you. Sometimes tall and sometimes short, sometimes fit and sometimes fat, sometimes loud and obnoxious, sometimes soft-spoken. But she looked like you. And what I learned is we're all just reflections of each other. One spirit, 99.9% biologically the same. Compartmentalized in different skin tones, different shapes, different sizes, different eye color, and yet, sometimes other people's hair and lashes. I heard story after story from leader after leader. Stories that could have unlocked my alabaster box at least 15 years ago. But nobody could get over themselves long enough to free me. So that's why I tell my story. That's why I share my story with you. Because nobody told me theirs. In leadership, we don't get to bleed on our people. There are certain things that we have to hold sacred. And when I was going through breakdown in my life, there was no one there for me to hold the space for me to think about my experience as I tried to navigate what was next. Nobody could pause to walk me through the threshold of devastation. When I tell my story, I cannot help but to start with my family. Because when I started this journey, I realized that I was going to have to do something different. I'm the youngest of 10 children, 9 brothers and sisters, all who loved me, fought over me from the time of conception. The boys wanted a boy so they can create a kingdom. The girls wanted another girl so that they could maintain their queendom. They doted on me. They loved me. It was awesome. And they loved me right into addiction. I became addicted to external affirmation. I became addicted to having somebody or something outside of me validate me inside. This toxic relationship with validation that I had led me to become married over 20 years ago, but not just to my husband. I also married my career. So my husband, my marriage, my career, and me, we all three became one. My identity had become so enmeshed with my marriage and my career until I lost who I was. In 2016, I experienced my own personal pandemic. Everything that I worked for, everything that I tried to preserve was taken away. I literally got a tap on the shoulder saying, "Your services are no longer needed in this position." Before I could wrap my mind around what was happening in my career, I learned that my marriage was up against some long-term infidelity. So in a 6-month period of time, I got a divorce. I got a demotion. I sent my first child off to college. I bought a house. I sold a house, adapted to the single mom lifestyle, and started a leadership coaching business. All of that in 6 months. I knew that I needed to do something different. I knew that if I was going to expand my leadership, if I was going to show up in adversity, if I was going to become a leader in my own life, if I wanted my life to go higher, then I was going to have to go deeper. Deeper. I had to decide what I want. I had to examine my life, my practices. I had to eliminate the barriers, come up with a plan of action, evaluate my progress, repeat, and get more results. I had to follow the deeper process. And you're gonna have to follow the deeper process as well. We all have gone through setbacks. We all face adversity. In fact, I believe it's life's way of preparing us for the next moment. I believe it's our professional development for helping other people as we lead. You have to decide what you want, which really means you've got to get clear about the vision for your life. What is it that you want out of this life? When I was going through the divorce and grappling with the demotion, I had to take 100% responsibility for what was happening in my life. Much of it not my fault, but it was certainly my responsibility to make it look different for me. So I decided to get clear. I decided I was no longer going to have other entities act as my executive functioning. I was going to take control of what was happening in my life. I had to decide what I wanted. You have to get clear about where it is you're trying to go. If you cannot establish a clear and compelling vision for yourself, it is not likely that you will be able to establish a clear and compelling vision for your organization. So you have to get clear about what it is that you want. I had to examine my life, examine my practices. As I sat there in the counselor's office, waiting for my counselor to come in, I had all of this negative mental babble going on in my head. I was ready to tell her everything. But as I started to examine all of the things that had happened through the 20 years, I realized that I was in the middle of it all. I was the common denominator between my marriage and my career. I was the one who ignored the signs of infidelity. I was the one who didn't take control of my finances. I was the one who gave way too much power to my position. That was me. I had to examine the places where I had gone wrong. You see, healing hurts a little bit because you've got to get over your ego so that you can get to the you that shows up or that needs to show up every day. So I had to examine my motives. I examined my relationships. And after I examined my life and my practices, I had to get rid of some stuff. I had to eliminate the barriers. I had to end some relationships. And some of you need to end relationships as well. I had to eliminate some bad behaviors. There were some things that were happening in my life that were not aligned with who I wanted to be and who I wanted to become. So I had to eliminate those things. What are you having to eliminate? What do you need to eliminate from your life? What practices do you need to get rid of? What things are not serving you anymore that you're holding on to? Eliminate the barriers. Come up with a plan of action. Now, I don't know about you, but I had never gone through a divorce and I had never gotten a demotion. These were two devastating issues that I was facing. So I ran for help. I got help. I got in every divorce support group I could get in. I took every Dave Ramsey class I could get in. I probably could train for Dave Ramsey. I got in a writing class. I hired a writing coach. I went to a therapist. I got a personal trainer. I had never done this before. Some of you might be thinking, well, I don't have the money to get all of that. You pay for what you want. You pay for what you need. When you are desperate for healing and you have become clear that you want to expand your life and your leadership and become a bold, brilliant leader in your own life, you do what it takes. You also look around to see who can help in your circle. So your plan of action should include the people and the resources who are going to help you through this ordeal. Because remember, you need somebody there to hold the space for you to think about what you're experiencing now so you can focus on your next. And after you come up with a plan of action, you have to evaluate your practices. So after you decide, you've examined your life, you've eliminated the barriers, you've come up with a plan of action, you have to evaluate your practices. Go back to figure out, is this still what I wanted? The thing that I said I wanted, as I'm going on my healing journey, is it still relevant to where I want to go and what I want to do? And then you have to repeat to get results. Keep going back through the cycle. Decide what you want, examine your life, eliminate the barriers, come up with a plan of action, evaluate your practices, repeat for results. I've been coaching, mentoring, and leading leaders for a long time now. Some of you may not have gone through a divorce. Some of you may not have been demoted. Some of you are just ready to expand who you are. Some of you are like my client Ashley, who is an executive at Amazon. Ashley is a beast. She is phenomenal. But she was just at a place where she was feeling this frustration in the pit of her stomach, knowing that something bigger and deeper was calling her. She had to get clear about what she wanted. She decided what she wanted. established a clear and compelling vision for herself, and expanded the leadership in her own life. As we worked together, she was able to establish the courage and confidence to reach out to her absent father and other family members that had hurt her and reconcile with them. And as she was reconciling with them, other things were happening in the background of her life that we are sure are clearly directed to her healing. She's been able to do projects with city government in her hometown and purchase land to create areas of the community where people can take advantage of technology. She stood up in her life. Ashley is now leading her life because 90% of doing a thing is confidence. Confidence comes from knowing who you are. You cannot effectively lead others until you're able to lead yourself. You cannot lead yourself until you know yourself. And you cannot know yourself until you can be yourself. It is extremely important that as a leader, you seek your own healing. Who you are shows up in adversity. If you want to be a comeback champion, a leader in your own life, if you want to expand your leadership, you have to go deeper. I've completely enjoyed my time here with you today. Thank you so much for jumping into this session. I can't wait to see you come back from your setback. I can't wait to see you be a comeback champion. Go to my website, bswinneyfreegift.com, and pick up the 21 values of an effective leader. Thank you so much for spending this time with me again. Thank you so much to the host of the conference. Thank you for allowing me to share my ideas with you. I am Dr. Barabra Swinney, your life and holistic leadership expert, inspiring transformational thinking, living, and leading.